We're talking Philly sports.
The Philadelphia Phillies are 2008 World Champions of Baseball.
And New York sports.
Ball game over. Yankees win. The Yankees win.
And the unique history and relationship between the two cities. With Mike Carr.
You're so money and you don't even know it.
And Adam Turkel.
I agree. Nobody's madder about than I am. They're going to say that, and I'm going to look at them and say, "Hi, you're right."
This is the Battle for I-95 podcast, starting now.
All right, welcome to the Battle for I-95 podcast. Is brought to you by Easy Moving and Removal. Moving's hard enough, do it the easy way. Servicing Fairfield, Connecticut, removal in New York. I am one half of your team, Adam the Turkel, and my partner is the birthday boy, Mr. Mike Carr. Happy birthday, my friend. How are you?
I'm great. 36 years young, man. I couldn't believe I made it past 21.
I tell you, I'd sell my left nut to be 36 again, just to
I
like
bet
it
you
know.
would. I bet you would. Not this kind of 36.
Yeah, 55 gets tougher, brother. You know it's a long road ahead. You know?
Oh man, this is fucking take me out back then.
Oh, it's a rough living sometimes. You know, we're getting blasted with this freaking heat scorcher on the East Coast.
Yeah.
I'm in a mail truck that's 125 degrees. You know,
I'm
you're
on a
doing your
construction
thing.
site. We got just hot air blowing through the whole building. It's just hot
Awesome.
air. They won't turn the code on yet.
I've lost 5 pounds though this summer already, Mike. So it's got to be
Good for you,
something,
man.
know?
I gained it. Yeah, I don't know how.
Huh? Well, stop drinking all that fucking beer, you lush fucking.
Good.
God damn. All right, well, let's get to some sports talk. And we are officially at the All-Star break in baseball. And last time, we spoke, the Yankees were spiraling down the depths of despair from having been looking like, one of the 2 best teams in baseball. And then for a month, and it seemed to coincide with when Giancarlo Stanton got hurt. All of a sudden, the lineup stunk and the pitching fell apart. Frankie put the mush onto Louis Seal, so that screwed him up for a couple of starts. Garrett Cole kind of still in spring training mode, was getting himself back together. And here we are a week later, and what just happened for the Yankees is they took 2 out of 3 from Baltimore. It's Baltimore's first series loss to a divisional opponent in over a year, which is unbelievable. The Yankees should have swept, but the last game was kind of a microcosm of the Yankee season. In the game 3 of the series, Yankees are down 3-2, top of the 9th. The kid, Ben Rice-A-Roni, who I love this kid. He has that sweet Yankee Stadium swing, hits them the 3-run homer to give them the 5-3 lead. And Holmes, who I've been bitching to you about since we started, between him and poor defense, which really came from 2 guys you don't generally get poor defense from. First, Volpe misplays a ball, and then Verdugo takes a step in on a fly ball and ends up going over his head and ends up costing the Yankees the game. But the problem I said with Clay Holmes is what I said before. He walks people, which he walked too, and he pitches to contact. And when you pitch to contact, things like bloops can happen and, things like misplayed balls and so on and so forth. So the Yankees still, though, won 2 out of 3. It's the first series they've won in over a month, so I'm happy for that. They go to the All-Star game only a game back. Aaron Judge up to 33 home runs, continues his scorched earth process. Got a little help in this series from Baltimore. It was nice to see a couple other guys get going. Juan Soto got back on track a little bit. Got a little help from the back of the order. Ben Rice is, as I said, Rizzo's replacement. I don't see how Rizzo's getting that job back because this rookie has been, really banging the ball around the yard now. He's starting to get real comfortable. You can see it when he's up there. He's just getting more and more confident with every at-bat he gets. And Yankee Stadium with that lefty swing, that could be big for him. And that's where the Yankees are going into the All-Star break. Where are your Phillies at, Mike?
Still, number 1 in the National League East. We swept the Dodgers, and you would have thought we won the damn World Series by doing that. The Dodgers didn't look good. I know we're not ever reporting on L.A. We hate L.A. as much as we hate Boston.
I don't know if it's quite as much, but it's close.
I'm big, fuck that town. They stink. But that's not the point.
Well, we'll go
We
to
beat
that.
the Dodgers. We
Yeah, we
swept
don't
them.
have fuck LA, so we did fuck Boston. Go ahead.
But then the Oakland A's came into town, and they were ranking us. But they were 2 bullpen games. We sat everybody. Nobody really started. The only problem that we had so far is Harper had a hand injury in Game 2 of the Dodgers series, so he kind of just sat the rest of the Dodgers and then the Oakland series. And the bench is still just looking pretty good, though. So we're a very deep team.
With that being said, with your team, some we kind of dismissed last week because after a long month of winning, they seemed to go back to being the Mets for a couple of weeks. And all of a sudden, the Mets woke up again.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden, they're 3 games over 500, and they're actually right in the wild card spot. They end the first half of the season in the 3rd wild card spot, which, considering they were back by 11 games, is kind of mind-boggling. I mean, I look at this team and, they hit. They're doing what the Yankees ain't doing right now. They're hitting. Now, they got to hold on to their nuts for dear life when they get into the bullpen, because that bullpen is not good, right? But they're putting up 6 runs a game, the Mets. And the Mets are starting to look a little bit dangerous in the National League, Mike. And, I'm a Met fan. We know I'm a Yankee fan. But considering that trade ass, I'm going to hope the Mets come after you. I'm going to look for that.
Oh, that's rude. I was sitting here and I was shunning Baltimore for the longest time. I was like, you know what? I hope Turk wins the American League East and he could be happy with like a number 1 or a number 2 seed. And then come to Philly in October and get the break speed off of
Yeah, okay. I want you to show me the historical point where that actually happens. That's in your fantasy land. Stop playing MLB The Show, because that's not real life. All right?
I can't. And speaking of which, I know we don't get into video games much, but it is back. College football is back.
That's all I see on my social media feed is fucking college football 25.
God, I can't wait.
It's everywhere.
It is on the download feed right now, just waiting.
Of course it is.
Thursday.
You're one of the suckers in America that's going to be sucked into buying a game that's just going to repeat itself over and over again. Yeah,
I've been doing it with Madden since.
I did it with Madden for decades, Mike.
Yeah.
This is literal. I literally had every Madden from the very first one for Sega Genesis.
Okay.
Which was just John Madden football. Had 16 teams. They didn't have the NFL rights yet, so they had no names. It was New York. It was L.A.
Foxborough.
Right. It was Boston. They used Boston.
Oh, they used Boston in that one.
Yeah, so they had who the players were by numbers, who the best players were. But I owned every Madden from that first Madden until 4 years ago. Every one, without missing it, every year. And I finally said, what am I doing here? It's the same fucking game over and over again. All right, they'll add a little something. They'll give you the graphics. Listen, the graphics improvement from then to now is outrageous, but
it's the same gameplay.
Is last year's game and this year's game, Mike. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, again, this isn't a video game thing podcast, but it is a bit nostalgic for even me too.
Remember the old arena football game?
Yeah, I remember the old arena football, but we're not going to get into that one.
Well, no, I'm just talking about the game though. For a couple of years, there was an AFL game.
The one was good, but the second one got even better because you could play like a career mode.
Right.
It was like a road to the show kind of deal.
Yep.
And you got to play in AF2.
That's right. They had AF2 and everything in it. That's right. Yep.
Yeah.
That's good stuff.
My guy got a max contract of 5 years, $300,000.
Right. Right. Yeah. That's when things were a little different then. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And
a little different.
You could actually, EA Sports actually tried to make games.
Now,
but
I
fall into the same thing every year where I go, I'm never buying Madden again. And then the Eagles made the Super Bowl. So I bought this year's.
I'll tell you, if the Jets ever went to the Super Bowl, I'd have to buy that one.
Right, because you just got to see how good they how good it is going into the next year.
To have the best team in the game,
right?
I would have to do it. Yeah, yeah.
Like when we had McNabb on the cover, of course I bought it.
Right.
But yeah.
Well, getting away from the video game and from football talk, just something I want to touch on quick NBA wise, just a little nugget. Knicks stole a guy from you guys. Knicks signed
did
Caldwell Pope. Caldwell Pope. Now, the Knicks have an overload of point guards, right? All of a sudden. Something that they had a dearth in. All of a sudden, they got McBride, obviously Brunson, the big shooter. Bridges, if needed, could play a little point, although that's not really his thing. He's more of an off guard. Now they signed Caldwell Pope, and I like him. He's feisty. He was a pain in the ass in that series. And I think it's a good little grab for the Knicks. But I'll tell you what it tells me, Mike. They might be in process of making a big deal that includes McBride. That's what it tells me. And there's been rumors bouncing around now that the Knicks have seriously discussed Karl Anthony Towns plus for Julius Randle plus. I got to be honest, I don't know if I like it. I don't. Randle's tough. He fits the team. I don't know if Towns is tough like that.
He's not.
That's what I mean.
He's not. Embiid's been pushing him around for years.
Right. And that's, now the Knicks obviously have a need still for a center. They still haven't addressed getting someone legitimately behind Robinson. They were supposedly talking to Utah and a couple other teams about grabbing, secondary centers, but that still hasn't shaken out yet. We'll see what happens. But I think the reason that hasn't shaken out yet is the Knicks might be trying to make a deal. The reason they signed Caldwell Pope is in case they include Deuce McBride in the deal. I don't see any other reason. What other reason is there to sign yet another point guard?
I don't know. But I mean, Karl Anthony Towns still is a top center in the league.
Well, listen,
not upper echelon.
The one thing he fits with the Knicks, what he does fit, right, is that he's a stretch big.
Okay.
And the Knicks are becoming a very three-point oriented stretch team.
Yeah.
And he's a guy that is going to pull Embiid out of his center. Embiid's going to have to cover him.
I swear to God, if you guys fucking sign Jay Wright, I'll eat my hat and I'm quitting this podcast. I'll never talk to you again. I'll never talk to you again. And that's a fucking promise.
I'm excited for the Knicks. We're in season with baseball, and football camp is just over a week away. A week away. And we're about to get into that. And while we talk about that, and before we get to that, start talking any football stuff. Obviously the Sixers are pretty set right now. I don't think they're going to do much more themselves.
No.
I don't think they have room to do much more. That Paul George signing took a lot of the cap up. They might have to get themselves. They did retain Kyle Lowry, so that's your backup point guard. You got him now. You got your backup center, right? You got Drummond, so that's taken care of. So I think Philly's pretty set, and I think the Knicks still have another move in them possibly because they still have assets. And listen, man. I love Julius Randle for what he's been for the Knicks, right? He came to the Knicks when we were a laughingstock. Him and Tibbs came in when the Knicks had been a joke for going on 20 years, a long time. He's the first one that got us back into relevance. Carried the team on his back the year we got the 4 seed and got knocked out in the first round by Atlanta.
But you're ready to see him go, ain't you?
But the problem is that he's been terrible in the playoffs. Utterly terrible, right? And what he does poorly doesn't mix well with the Knicks. So he likes to have the ball in his hands. That's not happening anymore. This is Brunson's team, right? He turns the ball over in tight spots. No good. I'm not with the turnovers. He could be a turnover machine at times. The guy is a dog. He's a straight inside, beat you up presence and can hit the three. Julius Randle is a damn good player. There's a reason he's second team All NBA. I'm torn about it, Mike. I am. I'm really torn about it. I don't know if I'm going to like this or not, but I will say this. I trust the Knicks front office. They've proven to me that they deserve the trust. So whatever they decide to do, I'm going to obviously pull for it and hope that it works out.
You got to just trust the process.
Oh,
Yes,
no.
I hope I just sent that in another 30 years of start.
Say that. Jeez. The process. I'm going to tell you something about the process, right?
We talking about practice.
Yeah.
Going on since that guy said that.
The process went on from the time Iverson left the league. That was a long-ass process.
I don't even think – I think it was more after he said that.
Yeah. Yeah, it was the
It was a
following draft.
downhill
Was
spiral
the
from
following
there.
draft the year they took Embiid, and then he was out for the year hurt, right?
It was every year their guy that they drafted got hurt and sat out.
Right.
Embiid sat out, I think, the longest though.
Almost 2 years, I think. I think
It was 2 years before.
Yeah.
It might have been 3. Might have been close to 3 before he really got as more than 50% of the starts.
Right.
Because I remember him coming out a few times, but I could be wrong about that too. That could be his second year.
I know
think
he missed his first rookie season, the year he was
and then
drafted.
he got hurt. He got hurt
When he came back, and he missed another year.
Yeah.
So he started playing in his third year.
Yeah,
that's when
right.
he started playing. Right.
And the only amazing thing so far about that whole story is that he started playing basketball, really playing basketball,
Really late
in college.
in college,
didn't
really
play in
late.
high
Yeah.
Yeah. They just said, "Hey, you're tall."
There's a
You're
couple of
tall.
guys like that. Antetokounmpo didn't play basketball as a kid either.
Right. Yeah.
So there's a few guys like that, especially guys that come from other countries and whatnot. Well, anyway, that's where the NBA's at right now. We got football coming up. We'll bring Frankie in before we get to football because I know he likes to talk about that. And maybe he'll actually have something. I mean,
Some bets?
something. He's supposed to be here as a gambling guy, and he's bringing nothing to the table. I got to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Other than the fact that he loses bets, but that's about it. But we are going to bring Frankie on because we're going to start getting other subjects now. We obviously have a couple of spots to cover with Frankie. So without further ado, it is our friend Frankie Ravioli.
Oh man!
What's up, boys?
With
What the
the
hell is on
Tomlin
your
hat
head?
on.
What is that?
What do you mean? My little fisherman hat.
You go fishing?
No,
Then why
No,
are you
I
wearing a
don't
fishing
fish.
hat? Wow.
it's comfortable. It's like for the weather.
Fish. You know what? We're not going to go into fish now, but I'm going to tell you what we are going to go into. Mike asked me an interesting question last week. After we threw you out stage, he asked me about the Frankie Ravioli thing. Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I
Yeah.
told him, I said, Frankie Ravioli is Frankie Ravioli because for some reason he likes raviolis, but not stuffed shells. And then I told him you didn't like tomato pie either. And he was
I'm
like,
going to explain all this.
oh, you're going
Okay.
to explain it. Okay,
You
go ahead,
better have
explain.
like a.
So I love raviolis. I
Love
can eat raviolis anytime. But for some reason, stuffed shells, I mean, I'll eat them. If they're in front of me, I'll eat them. But I don't like the texture. I don't know what it is.
It's the same,
It's the same fucking
in a different shape. It's the same
I understand.
fucking thing. And it's
I
a
would-
different
I understand.
shape, that's all.
That's all Italians
Yes.
did was just take pasta, make it different ways, and then
Different
call it different
shapes.
names.
You're right. But I like raviolis. I don't like stuffed shells. If they're both on the menu, I'm picking raviolis. And now here's my thing on tomato pie, all right, Mike?
Oh, here
This
we go.
guy was driving, delivering pizza. Are you queuing something up, Adam?
Oh, don't worry about it. You just keep going with your little story.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this guy was delivering pizza, right? He took a right turn too fast. All the cheese flew off the pizza.
Yeah,
He delivered the pizza to the guy and said, "Here's your pizza, tomato pie."
tomato pie.
That's how that came about. Cheese should be on pizza.
All right, so
Now, I understand
all
it's-
I understand what you say. Buy a tomato pie. I get it. I'm more of an upside down pie kind of guy.
Okay, I understand that. That's fine with the cheese on the bottom.
Oh,
I
you're
have
okay
no
with
problem.
that, then. You're okay with that.
I am.
Okay.
Brooklyn Square, my favorite
Okay,
pizza
so
place in New
all right,
Jersey.
so all right, I can't stand BLT. I think BLT is a sham of a sandwich.
So you don't like bacon?
I love bacon. I'm not a big tomato guy raw, but a BLT sandwich is a sandwich without meat. Without
No, it has meat. It's bacon.
it
It's all
has
bacon.
right, but bacon is like the addition.
Bacon's
Like,
meat.
you go to Wawa,
If you put
right?
a lot of bacon on,
Listen,
it's the
Philly
main
people
thing.
understand this. Hold on, wait. Philly people understand this. You go to Wawa, right? You get a turkey hoagie, right? You get your condiments, your mayonnaise, or oil, or vinegar, whatever. Then you go to the next thing and says, "Do you want to add bacon?"
Right.
Fuck yeah, I want to add bacon. Okay? Yeah. Then you move on to the next thing. Salt, pepper. Yeah, sure, why not? All right.
I hate to
oregano.
interrupt your
All right,
fucking
boom.
Wawa story, right? I hate to interrupt
Right,
it.
but hold on. That's a hoagie. That's a sandwich. You've cut the middleman out.
Okay, time out. I'm
and
gonna
went right
pause
to
you
just
right here.
shit,
Okay.
shit side.
When you put that bacon on your turkey hoagie, fucking dumbest name for a sandwich ever, right? Well, you put your bacon on your turkey hoagie.
Yeah,
What?
hoagie.
How much bacon you putting on it?
I don't know. It depends. You know,
Just answer the fucking
I might be
question.
feeling
The witness
spicy
is
that
to
day
answer
and
the
put 5 or
question.
6 slices. You know,
How
You
many?
say 4 strips.
4 strips is probably. I think 2 is the regular. And if you ask for extra, like you put the extra option in Wawa,
Probably get double.
it gives you 4. Right? That's what
Right.
it gives you. Okay. BLT, the whole sandwich is bacon. You get like 10 strips of bacon on it. It's all bacon with the tomato and the lettuce on it. That's why it's a bacon sandwich.
I
The
understand
bacon's the
that,
star
but
of
it's
the
still
show,
what do you call
not
it?
the
It's still a
goddamn
sham of a sandwich.
What?
It's a sham. It's like it's a fugazi. It's a fugazi.
It's not a fugazi. First of all, shame
fake.
on you for using that word, you Irish bastard. Don't you be throwing that around, okay? That's like something you heard in the clubs from your Italian friends. I don't want to hear you throwing that around, okay?
Probably.
All right.
How about that national anthem last night?
Great. Fantastic.
All right, that was so bad that I'm better.
Did you hear?
That's not saying a lot.
Did you hear what happened?
Yeah,
No.
she was
today-
drunk. She says she claims she was drunk and she's going into rehab now. I hear rehabs are fun. I'm not going to get into giving this girl her fame over this dumbness. And if she does have a problem, right, then I commend her for doing something about it. But then she turned around and kind of made a joke of the whole thing by saying, I hear it's fun. I mean, listen, you screwed up on national TV. It was brutal. It was
screwed up the national
embarrassing.
anthem on that.
It was so embarrassing. Like, I mean, it was just embarrassing. All right, so if you had a problem, if you were drunk, you drank too much, which, by the way, MLB, that's probably your fault 'cause it was probably in your pregame suite where she was swinging down the drinks. So you can blame yourself. Don't play victim. But if that was the case, I accept that. But then don't make a joke of it with the it's fun thing because a lot of people have serious problems that they go to rehab for. Don't turn it into like, you know, all right, I got a problem, but I heard it's a fun time. Yeah, okay, it's a fun time. Whatever.
I keep losing. I got to go back to GA.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, you got to do what you got to do. You know what I mean?
I know.
So
everybody that listens is winning. So
that's right.
You got to keep going.
I'll tell you this about her. It gave her a big window of 15 minutes for fame that she can capitalize on. Because other than hardcore country people, nobody really knew who this girl was.
I still don't know who she is.
She's a country singer. She actually got nominated for an award 2-3 years ago or something.
Mike, I said it this morning. I'm like, oh, yeah, she was nominated 4 times for an Emmy. And then my postmaster, he's like, yeah, Frank, you just said it. She was nominated. She didn't win.
Right.
I'm like, no.
She didn't win. And there's a reason why she can't sing.
Mm-hmm. So let's quickly, while we're at it, okay, just because we're here in this cesspool right now, let's talk about the All-Star game and the home run contest quickly, okay? The home run contest, let's just let it go at this point. They just keep changing it and screwing it up more and more. I mean, all right, so check it out, right? They had a stat tracker that said there were 100 fewer home runs hit at this home run derby than previous derbies on average, right? That's because they cut out the amount of rounds because it was kind of too exhausting.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's a happy median here because I thought last night stunk. That's me. I thought it stunk.
Honestly, I didn't even watch it.
Well, there you go.
I was at pool. I could watch a little bit of it when I could. I saw, actually, Frank, you'll like this. Guy I was playing pool with goes, oh, I think Bohm's going to do really well. I said, the guy hit 11 home runs all season. He needed like 15, 16 to be relevant in at least the first round. He goes, I bet you a shot he gets more than 16. I said, I bet you a shot he don't get more than 10.
Wow. Mike lost. Mike used his inner Frank.
Okay, so actually, I completely forgot what the hell I was talking about. Thank you, ADD.
I was asking you how the was it broken down into 3 brackets or 4 brackets?
Okay, so what they did was this year is all the players got the time limit. I forgot what it was. I think it was.
And the top 4 moved
and
on.
40 swings.
Right.
So you either got 40 swings or you took the amount of time that it took.
There was no 1 against 1. It was just
there was
the
no
whole
1 versus
pool
1.
of them. Right.
So based on home runs is where you went in that order. So that's why Alec Bohm went first because he had 11 home runs. He was the least amount of home runs in it. But with that, he had 21 home runs in the first round, which was the top number. I guess they went to footage. So
Shots on Mike.
Huh?
Shots on Mike.
Shots on Mike. Yeah. Yeah. So he got a free shot off of me. My buddy Miguel got a free beer because you always buy the guy who's just sitting there making fun of you. You know, he gets that too. That's just a rule of pool.
That's a weird Philly thing. We don't do that in New York. Yeah.
I think the last good one was what the Josh Hamilton one at Yankee Stadium. That was probably the last one that I really was into.
Runs?
Yeah, you remember that? I think it was at the old Yankee Stadium the last year.
Yeah. Oh no! Wait! The Aaron Judge one was great.
I don't remember.
Judge was hitting him.
I like the Josh Hamilton one.
Yeah, but you're saying that was the last good one. That wasn't the last good one. The Judge one was great. When he broke the record and he hit the roof and everything, that was.
No, I do remember that one too.
Yeah. Well,
but I thought the Hamilton one.
Boy, Aaron Judge, bro. I mean, geez.
I'm not disparaging him. I'm always for the underdog. Josh Hamilton was a first-round pick, and then all of a sudden he got got in a car accident, fucked up on heroin and all that shit and all the tattoos.
Yeah, all that.
He came back
like your crackly voice. Spin your phone or whatever you got to do to fix your crackles again. God damn it! This is what I go through. This is what I got to deal with.
Well, while he's doing that, would you still say that it's better than what it was when they first started it?
No, I'm going to tell you why. It doesn't have the star power it used to have. They used to get the best home run hitters to be in it.
Just like you used to have the best dunkers in the dunk.
Right. So you used to have Griffey Jr. You know, you had guys like that in the competition. A-Rod early on. Those guys.
But I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the original home run derby where they played 9 innings, 3 outs.
I don't remember that.
Google it.
You talk about before we were born?
You mean the show that used to be on?
Say, hey, listen.
I'm not talking about. Who's talking about?
You're talking about the one that used to be played at Wrigley Field back in the '60s.
Yeah, what are you talking? What I'm talking about? We're talking about.
Yeah, that was on ESPN. It was called Home Run Derby. It was called
the original Home Run Derby. Is it better than the original? Just answer the question. You don't got to sit there and back. And we're back. So as I was saying before I was so fucking rudely interrupted, I just wanted to know your opinion based on the original Home Run Derby, which was 3 outs, 9 innings, 2 batters.
Nah.
To now.
Too long.
In a tournament.
So I'm going to tell you what I think. All right. Turks Home Run Derby. Here we go.
Turks Home Run Derby. Here you go.
Turks Home Run Derby, right? Yeah. So they're kind of in a happy median now, but I think they went a little too far away from the amount of at-bats that were involved. So I like them. I don't like the 3 outs, 9 innings thing because you're only really including 2 guys then, and you don't need to make it that anemic, right? You want to get some of your better home run hitters in. So you do want to get at least 8 guys to do it, right?
Okay.
So I think if you get 8 guys to do it, you go back into 1v1s. You have 4 mini games basically of each guy hitting 40 and the winner moves on. Period. And then you have the semifinals the same way. Oh, what an idea. Let's keep it uniform through the whole freaking thing. And then when you get to the finals, guess what? Same thing. Keep it uniform.
Okay. So you're saying 40 pitches? And that's
it. 40 swings, period.
40 swings, whether you make contact.
40 swings.
40 swings. So the guy could stand there and wait.
He can wait, yeah, but you can put in because you got to remember
time limit.
You aren't always perfect, right? Guy is up there throwing batting practice. Sometimes he's throwing a meatball. It's too high, whatever. You have to take a cut within 3 pitches.
Okay, or it's a swing.
Or it's a swing.
Okay.
You have 3 pitches to
I'm just
swing.
letting you live, brother. I'm going to let you live with that one. I don't have anything different because, I mean, they just are going to keep changing it every year. You know, the bonus, 425 plus feet. Now you can get up to 4. Whatever.
I like
it was just cool. It was cool to see Alex Bohm do what he did.
When they added that in, that you get the extra swing if you hit a ball X amount of feet, you get an extra
amount of feet.
I like that. I think that's kind of cool. See, it's little things like that you could throw in. Like if you have, say, 3 consecutive no home runs, you lose a swing.
Okay. Whatever.
So your 40 might become 32. You know what I mean?
I mean, since the Jets listen, maybe the MLB's listening.
Wow. Yeah, maybe.
Wait, the Jets listen to Adam?
Well, they obviously listened to the TikTok since they banned it.
They banned it.
Oh.
Yeah. That was obviously.
We're still sore.
Well, all right. So let's get to business here, right?
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about a little bit. We're a week and a half from NFL camps opening up, right? It's when we get on our show next week, it's going to be 2-3 days away. I think camps open next week, Friday and Saturday. So it's about 11 days from now, okay? Aaron Rodgers is back. He's, I'm scared shit, as I told you guys. But now there's a rumor going around that all the experts are saying they'll be shocked if it doesn't happen, that the Jets are actually going to go get Devontae Adams.
I did hear that.
And they're saying his agent came out and said, no, he doesn't want to trade.
And everybody says they don't care what that agent says. It's inevitable.
Same thing with Ayuk, because my son was texting me this morning. We better get Ayuk.
Well, Adams' contract expires after this year, right? So if you're going into a little bit of a rebuild mode, which I don't see how the Raiders are in, why do you want to keep that cap number and lose him for nothing where you can get a couple of draft picks for him this year? Because let's keep it real. The Raiders ain't winning anything this year.
Who's their quarterback? Minshew?
They got Minshew, Gardner Minshew, yeah. And the kid and the rookie that they drafted last year. So they got those two. So again, the Raiders, they're in the Chiefs division. They're in Jim Harbaugh's division. They're not going anywhere. Let's just call it a spade. They're not going anywhere. So if I'm the Raiders, I actually do it if I can get as much as I can get for it. But boy, if the Jets
and obviously
pull
they
that
like
one
each other.
off,
They like each other.
woo! If the Jets pull that one off, and now they're running out Garrett Wilson, Devontae Adams, and Williams.
You're getting awfully excited, ain't you?
Woo!
You fucking Hiawatha.
Maybe.
Wait, and who's throwing? Who's throwing to them?
Aaron Rodgers.
Hiawatha.
In week 5, I mean. Week 5. Who's throwing?
You know what? I'll tell you what. If they have all those receivers and they have Tyrod Taylor, they're still a damn good team. They're still a damn good team. So let's say worst case scenario happens for the Jets. Aaron Rodgers goes out again week 4, week 5 for at least 5 games, maybe rest of the season. You're going to tell me Tyrod Taylor with that receiving core and Breece Hall and a top 5 defense can't win a bunch of games? This ain't Zach Wilson we're talking about.
Right, all you got to do is keep him 500. Just play 500 ball without Rodgers. If you got 4 games, go 2 and 2.
You know what? He should play more than 500 ball just because of the defense and the weapons he has.
True.
They should be able to win games. And once the Jets play week 1 against San Francisco, their next 4 or 5 games is the easiest part of their schedule. The Jets very easily going into the Pittsburgh game can be 5-1.
Then you lose that game. Well, you lose that game.
I mean, they're playing some bad teams. So, it's including New England, who I can't wait to smack the crap out of. So,
and this is a first for the Steelers this year. The Bills are coming in August 11th and 12th for when they do the practice against another team.
And then preseason, they do the practice, then preseason game type of deal?
No, I don't think they play a preseason game. I think they're just coming in and playing. They're practicing together for 2 days.
Yeah, it's on scrimmage.
Oh, because
so they fight. They'll fight the whole time.
Right. They usually do those team scrimmages right before they play a preseason game. Like the
I
Jets
don't think
did
they
last
played
year
Buffalo.
with, I want to say the Jets.
They always play Philly, Carolina. There's only 3 now, right? Only 3 preseason games?
Only 3 preseasons, yeah.
They might be the Hall of Fame game, the Steelers. I don't know why, but maybe they are. But I know they play Carolina and Philly. Whatever. It's fucking preseason. I don't give a shit about preseason.
Yeah, I know.
None of these guys should be playing.
That's okay. Let's mill. All right. So let's continue on here. So that's my Jet outlook. They're getting ready for camp. The team might go get Devontae Adams. The team is already very good. I think Adams could really be a finishing piece. And again, this is in spite of Rob Saleh, because I still think he's going to blow the big game somehow, some way in the big spot. But I like the fact that this can happen. This is a big addition. Your Birds, right? Oh, by the way, that jerk off we traded for from you guys, he's still holding out that jerk off.
I know.
Oh wait, Mike, before you speak, can I throw one thing in there because it was hilarious?
Yeah.
So Saturday, all that shit happens on Saturday with Trump, right? AB, who's fucked in the head, tweets out, he's like, "This isn't the only guy that's an inaccurate thrower / shooter," and he puts up a picture of Kenny Pickett.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, he went right for Kenny's head on that one.
Yep. Go ahead.
I've seen a few different ones. I saw someone memed the picture of Bronny
It was, yeah.
There was a lot of what's his name? Who's the guy on the Nets now from the Sixers?
Oh, Ben Simmons. Yeah, he was.
Yeah, a lot of Ben
also.
Simmons.
Yeah, those are the
and
top
they say we
defense
don't have class.
Yeah, we don't, but that's okay. So that's the Jet outlook. Let's talk a little bit about the Birds. We can talk about them a little. Yeah. So tell us, Mike, what goes on with the Dirty Birds? I don't mean dance, I mean talk, you clown. What's going on with the Birds?
Sorry, you don't interrupt the song.
Well, I did.
I know you did, because you got no respect.
No,
Anyway,
I don't.
So, yeah, we're still listening to people on WIP constantly saying how Jalen Hurts is
Pickett's the future.
Pickett is the future. Pickett will be starting by week 3. And,
God.
thank
God
God
help
we
you.
got him. And I mean, I don't know what else to call it. I really don't know. The guy threw for 3,000 yards in two seasons.
I got a question, Mike. I got a serious question about this. There's a lot of chatter about this. Makes me think it might be internal. Does maybe the coaching staff think Pickett's a better fit?
No. There's nothing going on, and we're miserable fan base.
You got
so
Kenny
something
Pickett by
always
week
has
4.
to be wrong. Like that old grandpa, like, oh, my back and my life is terrible. Something always has to be wrong. We can't just sit there and enjoy this and go, hey, you know what? We have a good team going into the season. We got the offensive coordinator we wanted. We got the defensive coordinator we wanted.
And now you got the quarterback you want. You got Kenny Pickett.
The quarterback we wanted, apparently.
Yeah.
We're all and let's just also put this to bed, too. What happened with Nick Foles in that Super Bowl? As much as I love Nick Foles, that was lightning in a bottle.
I agree.
So
I agree.
We can't just keep depending on quarterback 2 to win us rings.
You know what it's like, though, Mike. Quarterback 2 is always sexy.
It is, and
he's the hot bitch in the room. He is.
But that's also in Philly since the 2000s. McNabb would go down. Here comes Coy Detmer.
Oh, I remember when they had Jim McMahon, too. When they wanted Jim McMahon to play. I remember that, yeah.
Rodney Peete got a starting role because he was the backup. There was always some backup that did good for a couple of games, and it's like, maybe we should start him. Now you have other guys like Kevin Cobb, who was drafted to start. This isn't the case. We got Kenny Pickett because we needed a backup. We got rid of Minshew. Now we have no second string.
Right, you needed a backup, so now Hurts will be the backup.
So now
and Pickett will
we
start.
have Hurts, and we have a backup. And that's the end of it.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
And the other thing,
I think Hurts will be a really good backup for Kenny Pickles.
We haven't done the overrated thing yet. What is all this that Saquon Barkley is the most overrated running back in the league?
I think he is very overrated. I don't know if he's the most overrated. I think he is very overrated. I told you when you guys got him, he has deficiencies that I don't think a running back can have. One, he's injury prone.
He's injury prone. I mean,
he's injury prone.
That's like everybody nowadays, though. Because
I'll tell you this as a Jet fan who watched him from neutral eyes, because I'm not a Giant fan, he doesn't run the middle well.
Right. He doesn't run between the guards.
That's why he's overrated. So
and inside the tackle. Right. He's got to run the outside tackle every time, they say.
You got to get him the ball in space. You have to get him the ball in space. That's where he operates best.
All right. But here's the thing. He's not going to get – I don't think he's going to have 20-some plus carries every game. If he gets 15 carries, that should be a pretty good day.
I'll tell you what. If I'm the Eagles, what I want from Saquon is 12 to 15 carries and 5 to 6 catches a game.
Sure. That'd be great.
Because he's great out of the backfield. He's a dynamite receiver.
Right.
Out of backfield. That's probably his best asset, by the way.
But he's not just the guy that you can hand the ball to him. It just so happens that he can't be in the box.
I think in terms of overrated, it's because of the contract he got. He's not a $16 million a year, quote unquote, running back. Now, he's a versatile. I actually qualify Saquon more as a modern H-back type, right?
Mm-hmm.
A little bit of passing, outside stuff,
right?
Tosses, things in space. You know, if you start running Saquon in the middle, you're just asking for problems, whether an injury or him getting nothing because he likes to dance too much, Mike. He gets in the hole.
I do know that.
He does this. He does this
Yeah.
in the hole. You know, he doesn't want to put his shoulders down and run through people. So he ends up getting stuff for a lot. You're going to see. He gets dropped for a lot of losses that you raise your eyebrow and you're like, bro, put your shoulder down. You had 2 yards.
I mean, if that's a glimpse of what could happen, then that's what D'Amico Ryans used to do all the time. But D'Amico Ryans was a guy in Dallas. Not D'Amico Ryans, excuse me. Oh God, what the hell's that?
D'Amico Ryans.
Yeah, that was. I'm thinking DeMarco Murray.
Oh my God, that's a hell of a difference.
Well,
Jesus Christ!
Yeah, he plays the opposite
like
side.
Have another one, Mike.
Not a Cadillac. I mean a battleship. Fuck.
Yeah, let me go, man. We had a long day today at work. All right, that's not the.
Wait, isn't he head coach of the Texans, D'Amico Ryans?
Yes, he is. That's why I was like D'Amico
D'Amico Ryan will play. He played linebacker for us for like 3 years.
There you go.
DeMarco Murray would running, in the box. He was a guy that would pound the ball in Dallas, and then Chip is like, "Oh, let's run him outside," and he didn't know what to do.
Barkley would have been great with Chip. He's a
think so, too.
Chip-type offensive player.
Chip type player.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
But-
no doubt.
He's not going. I don't think he's going to be this guy that's out there every down. And that max money, it's a lot. Is the juice worth the squeeze? We're going to find out. But it's still.
You love that saying.
I love that.
I'll tell you what. I'm going to tell you why your Birds made the move. Okay, this is my honest opinion on it. Because they think they're close enough that he could be the finishing piece. So it was worth spending the extra money on that piece. That's why they did it.
Sure.
But Kenny Pickett hit him out of the backfield?
They didn't want to give the money to Swift. So
He's a better back than Swift. No
he's
doubt.
a better back than Swift.
Yeah, it is.
I think so too. And listen,
I'm not going to disparage Saquon Barkley and say he is a top 5 back in the league. He's just not the guy that you need 3rd and 3 to give the ball to running between the tackles.
3rd and 3, tush push.
No, that's 1. They only do that with 1 yard.
They've done it with 2 and 3 before too. It's
By the
okay,
way, they should
you don't
outlaw
get
that play.
station
Just
over.
my opinion. Anyway, I digress. I think that play should be illegal. I'm going to tell you why.
You would say that.
I'm going to tell you why.
Well,
There's a legit reason.
Because you can't stop it?
Football was no, that's not why. Football was not meant to be a game where your teammates aid you in getting extra yards to the point to where they put in rules for guys being carried because that same shit was happening with guys literally getting picked up in piles.
Where's the here we go at?
So, you know what? You want to here we go? I'm going to give you a here we go. Okay? Here we go. Yeah,
well, it started with Reggie Bush back at USC when they played Notre Dame, the push.
Right, so I don't think someone
which was illegal at the time. They could have called that one not a touchdown.
I don't think you should be allowed to push a player anywhere on the field. I don't think that should be allowed.
Oh God.
I'm sorry. I'm a football
you'd be the one coach that if your guy was running on the 3-yard line and you would say
pulling is illegal?
Pulling is illegal, yeah. Pulling was made illegal about a decade ago.
You're not allowed to pull. You're only allowed to push.
Okay, you can push.
That's what she said. Yeah.
Hey, Mike, did you hear that Mike Tomlin killed another guy this week?
Did he?
Jacoby Jones. He died. He's 40.
Oh, yeah.
He's the guy that. Do you remember when he did the kick return and Tomlin came on the field?
Yeah.
He was probably talking to his son
when Tomlin stuck his leg out like a cheap shot.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Speaking of the Steelers, Frank, I know what any noise from your quarterback crowded room there between Justin Fields and Mr. Mill?
I mean, a lot of the insiders think that Justin Fields will be starting by like week 8.
Really?
That's what they think.
So they don't think.
Then there's other ones. Now there's a bunch of them. So some say that. Then others say there's a reason that the Bears got rid of Justin Fields. He's inaccurate.
There's a reason why the Bears got rid of Justin Fields. I don't see Justin Fields as that good of a quarterback. He's a great athlete.
So check it out, right? This is something that I've realized over my years involved with the sport. Accuracy is one of those things that can be taught and corrected. All right? What can't is instinct or lack thereof. So my point is, what are Justin Fields' instincts? Does he still have good football instincts? Does he find the open guy? Can he recognize cover 1 versus cover 2 or cover 3? Can he read the hot out when the blitz?
Read the hot, right?
These are the things that our football intelligence that it's just because he's a little inaccurate, which, by the way, his legs will more than make up for. Accuracy is something that, with especially a proper quarterback coach working on mechanics and such, that can be corrected. In the case of
I'll give you a good example. Josh Allen, his first year, he was so
Josh
inaccurate.
Allen was terribly inaccurate.
And then all of a sudden, the next year, he's throwing 70%.
Right.
Like,
Now,
what happened?
To me, the question is with Russell Wilson, does he still have it at all? You know, he's accurate when he's good. He is. He's a good passer.
His numbers were good last year.
He wasn't bad last year. He had good numbers, and his accuracy showed. His interceptions.
I think Sean Payton just didn't like him. I think he just wanted.
That's because rumor has it. I'm not going to say it. I don't know Russell Wilson.
He's a diva.
Russell,
not a diva.
Don't hate me, Russ. Don't hate me. But Turk says he's heard that you're a bitch in the locker room.
Listener.
That's what the word is. That none of his teammates like him. It's kind of like your boy Mike Wentz.
All his teammates like his best friends, wide receiver.
No, I'm talking about Wentz. How nobody likes Wentz in the locker room, right? I hear similar things about Russell Wilson that his teammates in the locker room don't like him, and that's a problem in football.
At least they agree with they all form together and agree.
Oh yeah, they agree on something.
The T.O. McNabb, where that whole locker room was just split in half.
And again, with Russell Wilson, it's not like you've heard a bad thing about him. Like, he's never gotten caught with drugs, women, whatever.
It's just
he shows up to events in sunglasses and walks out, and the media hates him. Like, I know people on Good Morning Football, they're like, "Oh God, here comes Russell Wilson."
Yeah,
like, dude, you're a nerd. Stop. Like, he's a nerd.
Yeah.
Prima donna.
The Steelers do have a mismatched schedule, though, Frank. They have a mushy schedule. I mean,
first 7, they got to go. They got to start off like 6-1, 7-1 in the first 6, 7, or 8 games.
Well, you're gonna lose
their back end.
You're lucky
they don't play any division games.
You're gonna lose to the
12.
Jets. You're gonna lose to the Jets.
Not losing to the Jets. We played the Jets and Giants back to back, and
you'll beat the Giants. You're gonna lose to the Jets. Yeah.
No, but there's that schedule like right around Christmas. They play on Christmas Day, which is a Wednesday. They're playing the Saturday before that against the Ravens and the Sunday before that against the Eagles. Like, it's ridiculous.
By the way, with that Wednesday game, that now makes it official. You know that?
Every day.
The NFL has now played a game on every day of the week at some point.
I think actually the Steelers might have played on a Wednesday back when COVID happened. They played the Redskins at the time, or the Commanders.
Not counting COVID.
They were.
Yeah,
there's been a Tuesday game already, not COVID related. There's been Tuesdays already that were makeups for storms. I think a Monday night hurricane game was made up.
Like a Miami game, I think maybe.
Yeah. So the Wednesday game is the first non-COVID game that is ever being played on a Wednesday, that Christmas Day game.
They're going after every day.
The NFL machine just continues. So Christmas Day used to be the NBA's thing. You know?
Yeah.
You get the 3 big games. You get the early game, the afternoon game, and the night game. Usually somewhere in there with the Celtics, the Lakers, the Knicks, teams like that, right? The NBA has to bail on Christmas Day because the NFL said, "Yo, bitch, that's my day.
Yeah, get out of my day.
What's the NBA going to do about it? Nothing.
Yeah, because I think Christmas is going to be Steelers. The Steelers are playing the Chiefs. Ravens are playing the Texans. So those 4 teams are playing on Saturday. Steelers play the Ravens. Texans play the Chiefs.
Right.
Which I don't think. Christmas is the NBA's day.
Yeah.
NBA's not dead. The NBA's as popular as ever. It's just nobody can compete with the NFL.
I didn't say that. I said Christmas was the NBA's day.
It was. It was forever.
Thanksgiving was football's day.
Right. Forever.
So why doesn't the NFL go after high school football and do Friday nights? It's the only thing that they don't do.
Because then you can't go to your Friday night. Your kids. Friday night.
No. I'm going to tell you why. It's actually a law that they cannot play on Fridays or Saturdays during
is
the
it?
season. Yeah.
So only after like Thanksgiving.
Right, because
once the playoffs start happening.
Right.
Okay.
They're not allowed to play on school game days. That's actually something that was, I want to say, in the 50s. That was put into law.
One more time, because I'm not understanding it.
The NFL is not legally allowed to have games.
Gotcha.
Now, it mostly pertains to college, right?
Yeah.
So that's why you never see them compete with college.
Right.
Because they're not allowed to. So that's why NFL Saturdays don't start till after college season ends.
Right. Like first, second week of December usually.
Right.
Gotcha.
Right. And which is why they can do that Wednesday. That's why they can do that Wednesday Christmas, because college is over. So they can utilize Saturday for the games the week before and then have them play, I'm guessing, Sunday or Monday night the week after.
So why are the Eagles playing on Friday, the first game? Because they're saying school didn't start yet?
No.
School never
Or
starts.
certain things.
We're missing.
It's
We're
another
missing
country.
2 segments. Come on, let's go.
Yeah.
We got
All
to
right.
stay focused here.
That's right. So you're right. So we're running low on time. So we got 2 segments to do. Let's hit the first one, which is probably the quicker one, and that is the AFC South. Predictions for the AFC South and the dark horse for the AFC South. Who would like to start? I'll start.
Oh, go ahead, Frankie.
Go ahead.
No, fuck
No,
Frank.
go ahead, Adam. Go ahead, Adam.
All right.
Okay.
So I think a lot of people like the Texans, and there's a lot of reasons to like the Texans. CJ Stroud is up and coming. He looked great last year as a rookie. They made a couple of really good pickups. They look like they're going to be a really good team. I'm going to say wrong. I'm going to say that Trevor Lawrence's second year with Doug Peterson is going to have him firing on all cylinders. And I am going to pick the Jacksonville Jaguars to win that division because I just think they're better coached. It's that simple. I think they have the better coach, the better staff, and I think that Lawrence is going to benefit from having that year under his belt with Doug Peterson. I'm looking for the Jaguars to win somewhere around 11, 12 games this year. I'm high on the Jaguars. I like them. I
do too. I'm just going to agree with you off the bat. There's not much to even continue to add. I don't think that Trevor Lawrence is a bad quarterback. I really don't. I liked him at Clemson. I think that Urban Meyer was just
a train wreck.
He was a train wreck. And that ruined them. They got Doug Peterson, and I think they got him on the right track.
Yeah, because he's starting to break his bad habits and everything. And Peterson being a former NFL quarterback, and listen, he's raised a couple of quarterbacks from babies already, so he knows how to do it. And Lawrence is still ultimately talented, and I think he's going to really benefit. Now, on a dark horse, it's a weird one. I'm going to say Indy. I am going to say Indianapolis.
I think you're going Titans.
No, I'm not going to say Titans because I'm not stupid.
Okay.
Going nowhere. But Indianapolis does have a chance. Indianapolis has some nice parts. They can throw the ball. All right, they got a quarterback who's second-year quarterback, but the kid can play. And I think that if he stays healthy this year, just on his playability. Oh, there's Mike. All right.
I thought it was going to be 2 more minutes.
Yeah, it's happening
work.
earlier. Oh, my God, we're flipping places. It's all terrible now. Jeez. But, yeah.
I'm going to flip the script and tell you that I agree with you.
Oh, wow. Me and Mike agreeing on both things. This is scary shit.
Oh, and now I'm gone.
And now he's gone. Where the hell did he go? There he is. All right. All right. So me and Mike are on the same page with both of us. Frank, what's your pick for the winner?
I agree with you in the sense that I think the Texans take a step back. I think it's a little sophomore jinx for CJ Stroud.
Mm-hmm.
My pick to win it is actually the Colts. I think Richardson's really good. And if he stays healthy, they got a good shot at winning that division. And to win that division,
it's a big
you only have to
injury.
go 9-8.
Richardson coming back, Frank. He's coming back from a big injury.
I know, but he can fucking play.
Yeah.
So
I think he
would that also be considered like the dark horse too? I mean,
no, he's picking them outright to win.
I'm picking them to win the division. So I mean, the way I see it, if I'm going to take an underdog, I'm not even going to pick a dark horse because that's who I'm picking. So.
Yeah,
I guess my dark horse would then be the Jaguars. If I'm wrong,
the Colts. He's all in on
my whole thing is the Texans are going to take a step back. I mean, I like the Texans. I like Stroud, but a lot of times you see these guys do it the first year.
They added some talent too, though, Frank. They added some talent.
They did. No, they're good. They're good. Don't get me wrong. And I like their head coach. I like Ryan's, even though he might fuck them up earlier. But
I thought he played running back for us.
Yeah. I just think Doug Peterson's better, and I always lean towards the better coach.
Yeah. He is a better coach.
Yeah.
But again, is Trevor Lawrence worth the money? I guess with the way you're saying, yes, he is.
Listen, beauty's in the eye of the beholder, right? And I think that the Jaguars look at Trevor Lawrence when they gave him that contract the same way I'm looking at it. All right, he had some bad habits with Urban Meyer. He didn't have a great line around him. He didn't have a great team. Now he's got a real head coach who's an NFL quarterback who's going to get the bad habits out of him. They improved their line specifically. That's why they paid him. And you know what? They didn't have a choice. He was the number 1 overall pick. Everyone said he's
right. No, I get it.
They have to go all in on him, even if it fails.
I get it.
So that's the South. That's our picks for the South, guys. And next week we will switch conferences and go to the NFC South. And we'll take a peek-see down there. And my old friend...
Who the hell's the favorite there? Who's the favorite there?
It's probably Atlanta.
Is it? All right, but didn't Tampa Bay make it to the playoffs last year? Weren't they the only representative?
They were, but I think Atlanta made significant improvements. And when you improve the quarterback by that much, and listen, I think Cousins is one of the more underrated quarterbacks in the NFL.
That's right. They do have Cousins.
I don't think that he gets enough credit for what he's done overall. His numbers time after time are spectacular. He's got some targets there. That division, listen, Tampa made the playoffs, but they made the playoffs for what? A 9-8 record. So it's not like they were.
They might have been 8-9, right? They might have been under 500.
No,
They beat the
no.
brakes
I
off the
think they were
Eagles.
game over. They were game over.
Oh, were they? Okay.
Yeah, so they were 9-8, but it's not like that division has a runaway or anything. I think a quarterback will make the difference. That's why
I get it. I get it. You like that.
Yeah, but anyway, we'll talk more about that when we talk about the division next week.
You didn't get my Kirk Cousins there reference.
I'm not listening.
Oh, we
to you.
totally got it.
You like that? You like that?
We got it.
You like that?
All right, anyway.
All right. So now we're going to get to our next segment of
Oh, this
most
fucking sucked.
underrated player.
Oh.
And I told you, scumbags, we are doing right tackles. Probably one of the more difficult positions to determine due to the lack of statistical ability on it. So I hope everybody did some studying because I did. I'm good to go.
Okay.
So who's going to start here? You want to go to Mike?
All right. Here we go. We're going to stay with
If you
the
say
Eagles
Lane
again.
Johnson, I'm replacing you with Frank permanently.
With who?
If you say Lane Johnson, Frank's my new partner.
I wasn't going to go Lane Johnson.
Okay, good.
I was thinking about it, but no. We are going to go with the 4th round pick in the 1996 draft by the Houston Oilers, John Runyon.
That's a good one.
Okay.
John-
Okay.
The Republican representative out of Jersey. He was
I've met the
signed
guy.
by the Eagles
We just talked
In
about him. I
2000.
forgot all about him. What an ass I am, man.
in 2000. He was signed by the Eagles for 6 years, $30 million.
I remember that.
$30 million, and he started every game for 12 years straight.
Not a Hall of Famer, right?
Not a Hall of Famer. Only went to one Pro Bowl.
Right. That's
Right.
actually a really good one, John Runyon. I didn't even get that on my radar. I like that one a lot, as a matter of fact. And, you know, having met the guy makes me like it even a little more, and that's why I'm mad at myself.
And he's he's a representative too.
Yeah, he's a representative, and his son's in the NFL. We were just discussing that last week.
Yeah, how good he is.
That his son's in the league. All right, Frank, what do you got for me, Frank?
I really hated this one. I struggled with this one all week. I went with Brian Bulaga, 1st round pick from Iowa for Green Bay. Played for 10 years for them, and then 1 year for the Chargers, I believe, after that. Won the Super Bowl in Super Bowl 45 against the Pittsburgh Steelers that we shouldn't talk about. And again, I hated this. I hated this segment, so that's all I got.
Wow,
Brian Bulaga.
Frank always bringing it.
I hated it. I didn't like this one. It was.
You know why
I read somewhere where it said lean.
You know why I didn't like it? Because he had to study. Because he actually had to go look shit
And not
up.
only that, Frank,
I
you
did
understand
look.
There's going to be a left tackle, and then a right guard, and then a left guard.
I
and then a
understand
center
that. And the
we're
one
gonna
place
have
it
to-
said, the one place where it said underrated right tackle, it said Lane Johnson. I'm like, he's not underrated. He's good.
Underrated, yeah.
He's not underrated.
No, he's not.
And I thought you were going to take him anyway. So I'm like, I can't even go with him if I wanted.
No, he couldn't
So-
take that. That's not underrated. I would have thrown him off the show.
I
that.
don't think he's
No way
underrated.
That's happening. Yeah,
He's not going
that'd be like me picking most underrated quarterback Joe Montana. I mean, you know, that doesn't fit.
I don't know if Lane's. Yeah, he might be.
I said Joe
Lane might get-
Montana.
he should get in the Hall of Fame. I'd be surprised if he doesn't. He's
Yeah.
he's really
Who's that?
good. Lane Johnson.
I think he will.
Yeah, I think he will too.
We'll
Yeah.
see.
And Runyon, like, how long ago did Runyon retire? Like, he's
Been a
already
while.
past the window.
2000,
yeah.
2009, I think it was.
Yeah,
Well, yeah, if his son's playing now, yeah. So unless he gets
he's
to
been
the
out of the
veterans
league
committee
15
down the
years
road.
already. He's been out
Yeah.
15 years. Yeah.
And he only played 9 games with I think it was the Chargers. That after he left, played 9 games, and that was it. He said, House Representatives. That's what we're going
Who
with.
you got, Turk?
Well, you know, being old comes with old man knowledge, right? And having seen things from back in the day. And this was a hard gig for me, too. You know, this is something that I wanted to give myself parameters for it. So one of the parameters I gave myself is for a right tackle to be underrated is he had to have a left-handed quarterback, which basically turns him into the left tackle on the opposite side because he's now the quarterback's blind side protector,
Blind side.
right? So I started digging into that, and I came up with a man who was drafted in the 7th round, number 181 overall in 1985, and his name is Joe Walter. He was Boomer Esiason's right tackle for 10 years on the Cincinnati Bengals, and when they drafted him, he didn't even start his first year. He didn't start starting until the following year, and he went to the Super Bowl with the Bengals, was Boomer's protector for a decade. Not in the Hall of Fame, 7th round draft pick. You don't get much more underrated than that.
Yeah,
That's a good one.
that's a good one.
And they were good back in that time frame with Boomer.
Yeah,
He won the MVP.
They got the two Super Bowls, right? Didn't they get the two?
He only got to one.
He only got the one, but they got the two.
And the Niners,
they before Boomer.
No, they didn't crush them.
God, can you shut up? Before Boomer, they got to one with Kenny Anderson in '82, right before Boomer.
Okay.
Like literally I think Boomer made it in '89 or '88 against the 49ers. So about 6-7 years before that, Kenny Anderson against Joe Montana also went to the Super Bowl. So Montana got to play both of those Bengal quarterbacks.
Wasn't that the John Candy game? Isn't that John Candy over there?
That's the John Candy game, yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
And, Boomer gets overlooked. People forget. Boomer basically engineered a game-winning drive in that Super Bowl. And he only got beat by the greatness of Joe Montana and Jerry Rice and John Taylor. Other than that, 9 out of 10 times, his drive that ended with a minute and a half left in the game wins the game. So, hats off to Booms, and hats off to his protector. And that was our most underrated player segment. And next week, we will go back to the defensive side of the ball. I'll let you guys have a little fun this time. I won't be the angry old teacher in the room. We're going to go with most underrated free safety.
Free safety.
Not the strong safety. Not the strong safety.
Not the strong safety.
Free safety.
The free safety.
The
Has
free
to be
safety.
a free safety, huh?
What the fuck?
Didn't I just say that? Yes.
Has to be, huh?
Yeah, I just said that. Yeah. So it's got to be the free safety. No strong safety. That's a separate position, you prick. And we'll do that one at another time. But it is about the free safety. And with that being said, Frankie, I think our time is coming to an end. And we've had enough of seeing that stupid ass hat on this show. That show is just makes me think.
Did I give you guys Paul Skeens as Rookie of the Year at the first podcast or not?
No.
Did you? You know what's funny is they took it off the board. Like he had that 7 innings no hit ball. They said he already locked up Rookie of the Year. It's over.
Wow.
I'm glad that it looks like Louis Seal went to an exorcist and had the Frankie.
You got to win
removed.
10-5 at the All-Star break. Hey, just double that up. 20-10.
Yeah,
Take
He
it.
did really well his
smacked
last time
around
out
last
against
week.
Baltimore. And
Well, those Oakland A's. You got to watch out for those Vegas A's.
Before we throw Frankie off, the one thing I did like about this series of Baltimore for the Yankees, Cole and Louis Seal both looked like Cole and Louis Seal. And if they both pitch well the rest of the way, and they're supposed to, after the All-Star break, get back Schmidt, their rotation can get back to strength again, and that could change everything. So the Yankees need it. They want it.
The baseball talk's over. It's an all-star game, okay? We got to watch, okay? We got to see the most important game of the year.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's out of the four major sports, it's probably the only game that's meaningful. Like in the sense that you watch it, you're like,
It still holds its integrity because you still actually play a game of baseball.
Because you have to pitch and you have to hit.
Yeah, but do you remember when they actually let it decide who was going to host the World Cup?
Right, that was just dumb.
Yeah.
That was a dumb idea. Who the hell thought about the World Cup?
I remember we were kids and the National League won every year. And then finally the American League started winning.
And then they didn't lose.
Hey, guys, it's been a pleasure.
All right.
Subscribe.
Like and subscribe.
Mike, happy birthday.
Thank you.
Have a great night.
I appreciate it.
Frankie,
and I'll see you guys next week.
Hasta la vista, my friend.
Get an iPad.
Get an iPad, you scumbag.
Your
Enough
fucking
of your audio
bucket.
bullshit. Your second-rate audio bullshit. I know you're watching and you hear me. Fuck you. Stop it. God damn it. So that's Frankie Ravioli as he exits the stage. Mike, it's been a good show.
Yep. And usually we have a little talk right afterwards. I'm going to get right off of here once the ending credits come up. Again, great show. Thank you guys for the happy birthday wishes. 36 wonderful years on this planet, and hopefully another 76 more to go.
Yeah, hopefully you keep torturing us for decades to come. So, yeah. Hey, Mike, happy birthday again. Everybody, please like and subscribe our channel.
Like, subscribe.
You know, whether you're doing it on the pod, or you're doing it on the YouTube, subscribe wherever you like to get your dose of Turk and Mike and Frankie Raviolis. And but this once again was brought to you by Easy Moving. Moving's hard, do it the easy way. Servicing Fairfield, Connecticut, and removal in New York. I am Turk. That is Mike. We are out of here. Hasta la vista, baby.
Fuck the Mets.